Hello and welcome, just my camera, to the video review of Hunt for the Decepticons Ironhide. I apologize for the lack of videos. Currently, I am remodeling my house, so I have to... Someone stuck to his back there. I have to box up all of my collection and move it. Not really boxed up, but I have to move it. And it's not a small collection. I've been collecting Transformers for almost 20 years. I have... Last time I counted, I think close to 500 Transformers, not counting anything else in my collection. So it is a pain and a struggle. And this is one of the figures that was buried pretty deep in the collection on the back of the shelf. But so that's why there's kind of going to be videos spotty for a little bit. It's a long story. But anyways, here we have 2010 Hunt for the Decepticons Ironhide. Before we get into the vehicle mode, we're going to look at his one accessory. I believe they said this was a drone cannon. It just, the way it tabs in is you have this little tab here. It sits in that hole, and these little hook pieces kind of hook in, and it sits in there really nicely, which I do love, because this figure, unlike every other Hunt for the Decepticons figure I own, which I think is like 3, I have not lost this because A, when it plugs into his arm as his other gun, and B, when it plugs into the truck, it stays, and it stays beautiful. It is a little tight to get out of the truck mode, but robot mode, it's tight and it stays. But yeah, you can see his little gun turret. It does pivot. It's on a hinge up here, which is still really tight after all these years, and it's also on a hinge here with the 3 legs. So you can kind of have it stand. I think it's a drone, is what the package called it. I got this guy new 15 years ago, so I don't remember what it's called. But for now, we're just going to take it, fold these bits in, fold the hinge in, and there you have it in his gun mode. We'll get back to that in robot mode. And we're going to look at his GMC pickup mode. I can't remember the model of pickup, and I apologize, he's so dusty. Again, he's never been cleaned. I should clean him, but see the front there, the Autobot logo, road armor there, GMC logo. Really nice looking truck mode. Just adjust my chair here. There is, I'm not going to show it, but there is literally a pile of boxes 4 feet high behind my chair. So I am beyond bear hugging the camera. The camera is literally like pressed against my chest right now. So I apologize if things go out of frame or I butcher this transformation. I am literally crammed into a room with everything off the shelves is now in boxes because we're redoing the ceiling. So it's a long story. But anyways, nice truck mode. I do wish the bed was deeper. This is the only Ironhide from the movie I owned, except for the Robot Heroes and first movie Legends class. And then I had the Revenge of the Fallen and Forcer Ironhide. But yeah, nice detail on the tires. You can kind of see a lot of robot bits. His feet. Got a lot of panels. You got the 2 doors, door handles. Got the gas cap there. Doesn't really roll. It's more sliding because these back wheels for transmission fold in and they don't sit straight. I'm not sure how well you can see that. They don't really sit straight. You can kind of see that wheel's kind of cocked out to the side, so he doesn't roll as well. On carpet he rolls, but yeah, we'll get into the transformation. So first thing you want to do, again, I have only transformed this guy I think 4 times since I got him new. Fold those up, split these, and then bring these up. You want to leave those down, sorry. Fold those up, split it, and that will form the legs. We'll get back to those. Come to the front and try to kind of split it. He's very panely, so you want to kind of get everything out of the way. He's super panely on his legs. And you just kind of want to start splitting things. These pegs up here are still super tight to this day. Ever since I got them, they are so tight. I'll show you in a minute. A piece actually broke on this guy out of the box. We're going to kind of take these, try to get them out of the way. Again, try to at least. So you want to fold up this piece and move this enough to bring it this kind of sort of out of the way. Like I said, he's very panely, and it's not, my autofocus does not want to work. It's not so much an issue, he's just paneling on his legs. Not so much a shelf warmer, is what I was trying to say, and I couldn't find the word, and I almost said shelf warmer. And once you kind of get everything situated enough out of the way, these parts are super tight too. Again, this guy was never really hardly played with because as a kid, with everything being super tight, he was just very hard to transform. And this is the second time I've transformed him in probably 10 years, so I apologize if I'm making this look awful. But there we have the bottom half of the robot mode done. These, you can kind of move out of the way a little bit, however you need to move them. They're in the way. They should have been on maybe a dumbbell joint or something to move them a little bit more, but... So take the arms, spread them out, spread them out. Take the front end and try to split it. And they are on a slider. Once I get it pulled out a little bit more, you can kind of see. And this is the part I always hated the most. So his shoulders are on a hinge here. One second, let me do this off camera. So they're on a hinge here, and then they're also on a slider, but you can't get them out of the way because of these pieces. So you kind of gotta finagle his arms around those pieces. So once you get it far enough transformed that you can split the arms like this, you have to bring it down and then fold these in. Normally in the instructions, I believe you're supposed to try to fold these in first, but the sliders are so tight. He's got a little gunk on his windshield. The sliders are so tight and the hinges are so tight, you gotta finagle the hinges first. So get the hinges out of the way. And it should slide. You can see that slider right in the back there. Sorry for my autofocus, it doesn't want to work. And slide it out. Bring this entire section down once you get everything out of the way. And you can see on his windshield, there is a piece missing right there because this hinge is so stupid tight. When you pull the windshield back, it's supposed to bring his head up, and it broke immediately. So it doesn't, so you got to kind of come in here and 1 second, finagle it and get it to come up. This isn't a bad figure, this is just an awful copy of it, and I constantly get that from people where they think I'm saying the figure's bad. I have to go off the copy in front of me, so it's one of those things, and I was the only one as a kid that knew anyone that had this figure. 1 second, that is stupid tight, and I don't know why it has to be that tight. Oh boy. This is probably the worst review because this part is fighting me. So anyways, we're going to move on to the arms. I'll figure that out here in a second. So you want to rotate his arms. That empty space there was for the gun that we took off the back. And then, same with this arm. Rotate his hands. And here we have a messed up ironhide. So give me 1 more second trying to get that piece to cooperate. Yes, I get that a lot from people telling me that I need to give the figure some more credit. Well, before I forget to fold the wheels in on either side. But people don't realize I have to review the figure sitting in front of me, and if it's the figure sitting in front of me is bad, I have to say it's bad because it's the one I have in hand. Little retrospective for those people out there that want to argue with that, and I don't know why his head does not want to come up. Okay, that is really in there. There we go. Once it's up, I had to stick a screwdriver and then pop it up. Once it's up, you want to fold that section in, and his head's falling down again. You want to slide that section in. I'm going to place it under his chest. Slide the GMC grill in, and those tabs will fit under it. I apologize, I didn't realize this figure was that tight. Try to finagle that side in too. The sliders don't have to be all the way out when you have him transformed. They kind of got to sit a certain way. And now his head wants to fall back into his body. But anyways, there we have Hunt for the Decepticons Ironhide. And you can see that hinge doesn't sit all the way up. It sits enough that when you have him transformed, he kind of has this hunchback look. So it sits at an angle. You can kind of see how it sits in there, and it is kind of loose. So it sits in there at an angle. So it doesn't go all the way up like you'd expect, but it's still super tight. And this has been the worst video I filmed because this figure does not want to cooperate with me, and he is filthy. But we'll take this. You got the two ports. So I apologize for this figure being that filthy. He has not been cleaned in years. And I never know what to do with his little side pieces. I think they're supposed to be like this to give him better articulation. I don't quite remember. But for now, we're going to have him like that. So you can see lots of nice detail. Really nice head sculpt. The light piping is non-existent. He has it, but it is non-existent. Got the Autobot logo there. Not much detail in the arms. There's more detail on the legs. But articulation-wise, he does still have that hinge. You can kind of sort of use it, but it's so tight it just pulls the chest apart. So ball jointed shoulders. This is another issue with this figure. The chest doesn't want to stay tabbed in anymore. Ball jointed shoulders can do a full 360. Mid bicep swivel. Elbows will do 90. Fist rotation, I think they will do a 360. Yep, they'll do a full 360 kind of. They'll do a 180. They get caught on the window. Nothing at the cannon. This arm, same as the other one. Ball jointed head can look up that far, down that far. You get a little bit of waggle. Hips will move 90 degrees. Move this back and that far back. Knees are really weird because of the panels. You only get about, I don't know, 60 degrees of motion, and his knees are right up here, so he has really short thighs. Feet, you have a little bit of pivot. You have more outward pivot than you do inside pivot. They'll move back that far and up all the way for transformation. That's basically it for this figure. I apologize for this review being this bad. This is not a bad figure if you can find them. Just mind that hinge is stupid tight. And the sliders, ever since I got them out of the box, the sliders are stupid tight. I mean, to the point that it literally broke the clip off of that. It's not really a clip, but you can see when you pull that back, it should pull his head up. You can see that sheared right off. You can see actually where the piece is missing because this is transparent plastic. But you can see that is stupid tight. And I apologize for the gunk on his leg again, but he's just a decent figure. It's dated. It's panelly. It's dated. But if you can find one for a decent price, I would definitely try to pick him up. I wouldn't pay more than maybe 20 for him. I overpaid for this guy new. I paid 17 bucks for him, which was a lot of money back then. Try to get that more even, but oh well. But yeah, thank you for this rushed review. I'm going to transform him back into truck mode, and he's going to go into a box for a while. Yeah, Hunt for the Decepticons Ironhide, like I said, good figure. I do have to rate this on the copy I have. The only reason I say that is it's nothing that happened on YouTube. I had a picture of him on one of my social medias, and I said the parts were stupid tight. And I literally had a guy tell me I was stupid and didn't know what I was talking about because his figure is perfect and amazing and buttery smooth. Well, that's great. That's great, but I have to review this one, the one that's in front of me. This figure is the one I'm reviewing. If I say this figure is bad, it means this figure is bad. Not this mold, this figure. It was just annoying, and yeah, people, they're stupid sometimes. But thank you for watching this horrific review. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this, but yeah, I will catch you folks next time.